In the age where gods ruled the skies and their decrees shaped the fates of men, there lay a land steeped in legend and whispered myth, ancient Greece. Here, amidst the clash of titans and the whispers of oracles, emerged a hero whose name would become synonymous with strength and endurance: Heracles. Son of Zeus, king of gods, and Alcmene, a mortal of exceptional virtue, Heracles was born from an illicit union shrouded in deception and divine intrigue. His life, marked by the divine spark of Zeus, was destined to be anything but ordinary. Even his birth was met with peril, as Hera, queen of the gods and Zeus's wife, racked by jealousy, sought to thwart his destiny from his very first breath. Hera's enmity followed young Heracles into adulthood, where it manifested most destructively. Driven by Hera's relentless vendetta, a temporary madness was cast upon Heracles, compelling him to commit a grievous act against his own family. This madness, once lifted, left Heracles stricken with sorrow, his heart burdened by the weight of his actions. Seeking purification and redemption for his sins, Heracles consulted the Oracle of Delphi, the most revered of all seers, whose visions came directly from Apollo himself. The oracle, through cryptic prophecies, decreed that Heracles' path to absolution lay through the servitude to King Eurystheus of Tiryns, his cousin and a man of considerable insecurity who feared Heracles' power. Eurystheus, manipulated by Hera and eager to rid himself of Heracles, set forth the 12 labors, a series of tasks so perilous and divine in challenge that they seemed insurmountable. The first of these was to confront and vanquish the Nemean Lion, a beast of no ordinary lineage or mortal bearing. The Nemean Lion, rumored to be the offspring of the monstrous Typhon and the snake-bodied Echidna, roamed the hills of Nemea, its fur impervious to the weapons of man. It was said that the lion's hide could turn the edge of the sharpest blade, its claws sharper than any sword. This creature, embodying Hera's wrath and the earth's dread, became the symbol of Heracles' first and potentially fatal trial. As Heracles set out for Nemea, the air thick with a scent of olive and pine, his heart was a tumult of determination and dread, for he knew that the path he embarked upon was one that could lead to redemption or end in the dark recesses of failure. Thus begins our tale, as Heracles approaches the shadowed lands of Nemea, where the lion waits, as relentless as the fate that drives our hero. Background on the 12 labors. The world of Greek mythology is one where the whims of deities dictate the lives of mortals, where every tree whisper and every thunderclap is a sign of divine will. In this world, the 12 labors of Heracles were not merely tasks, but a divine orchestration by Hera, driven by a dual intent to eradicate Heracles or to forge him into a being of unparalleled virtue and strength. Each labor, set by King Eurystheus, was a thread in the intricate tapestry of fate and divine intrigue, designed to be a journey of both literal and spiritual transformation for Heracles. Before the commencement of these labors, Heracles' life had already been one of brutality and divine spectacle. His immense strength was evident from his youth, when he strangled 2 serpents sent by Hera to kill him in his cradle, a sign of both his might and the perilous life that lay ahead. As he grew, so did his reputation, as a man of both formidable power and deep-seated morality, attributes that would both aid and complicate his tumultuous path. However, it was his tragic lapse into madness, an affliction sent by Hera, which marked the turning point in his life. Having slain his own children in a mad frenzy, the clarity that returned with his sanity brought an unbearable guilt. The Oracle of Delphi's decree that he serve Eurystheus was, to Heracles, both a punishment and a potential path to redemption. The labors themselves were as much a battle of wits and endurance as they were of strength. Eurystheus, upon receiving the oracle's decree, saw an opportunity to either kill Heracles or forever break his spirit. Yet, each task also provided Heracles with a chance to redefine the narrative of his life, to turn his story from one of tragedy to one of triumph. This first labor, the slaying of the Nemean Lion, was particularly symbolic. Nemea was a place that evoked a sense of foreboding, its hills barren, the skies often grey and ominous, as if reflecting the grim task at hand. Heracles' journey to Nemea was not just a physical trek, but a pilgrimage into the depths of his own fears and aspirations. As Heracles ventured into the rugged terrains that led to the lion's den, his thoughts were a mix of strategy and introspection. He knew that overcoming the lion required more than brute strength. It demanded a confrontation with the very essence of his fears and a reclamation of his agency from the gods' manipulations. Thus, armed with nothing but his resolve and the raw power bestowed upon him by his divine lineage, Heracles approached the cave of the Nemean Lion, each step taking him closer to his destiny, each breath a whisper of the challenges that lay ahead. Heracles' journey through the rugged hills of Nemea was marked by an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional distant roar that rolled like thunder across the landscape. As he ventured deeper into the domain of the Nemean Lion, the air grew thick with anticipation and the faint, unmistakable scent of danger that seemed to seep from the very earth. Each step forward was a defiance of the fate prescribed by the gods, a testament to Heracles' resolve to carve his own path through the annals of myth and man. The people of Nemea, their lives overshadowed by the constant threat of the lion, had once thrived in these lands. Now their fields lay barren, their spirits broken by the ceaseless terror inflicted by the beast. Heracles, upon arriving in a nearby village, was met not with the usual fanfare reserved for heroes, but with somber faces and hushed voices. The villagers spoke of the lion not as a mere animal, but as an unstoppable force, a creature whose roars at night chilled the bravest of hearts, and whose presence turned their once lush home into a shadowed, forsaken place. As Heracles gathered information from the villagers, one tale stood out, a story of a young warrior who, armed with spear and shield, had gone forth to slay the lion only to be devoured, his armor and weapons left crumpled and bent beyond recognition. This tale served as a grim reminder of the formidable task ahead. Yet it also stoked the fires of determination within Heracles, for he saw not just a challenge, but a chance to restore hope to the people of Nemea. Armed with this resolve, Heracles set out at dawn towards the cave rumored to house the lion. The path was strewn with remnants of previous encounters, shards of weapons, pieces of armor, and bones that spoke of failed heroics. The cave itself was nestled at the base of a cliff, its entrance dark and unwelcoming, framed by the gnarled branches of aged trees that seemed to warn off any who dared approach. Heracles paused at the entrance, his senses heightened, his mind alert. He knew that the battle ahead was not just a test of his strength, but of his very soul. Encounter with the lion. Within the shadowed confines of the cave, Heracles' eyes slowly adjusted to the darkness that enveloped him like a cloak. The air was cool and damp, heavy with the scent of earth and something far more primal, the unmistakable musk of the beast. With each cautious step, the sound of his own breathing echoed in the oppressive silence, a stark reminder of the solitude and danger that surrounded him. Suddenly, a low growl rumbled through the cave, a sound so deep and terrifying that it seemed to vibrate the very stones beneath his feet. Heracles tensed, his senses sharpening as his eyes scanned the darkness for any sign of the lion. The growl turned into a roar, a sound that filled the cave with its fury, and then from the shadows the Nemean lion charged. The lion was a massive creature, each muscle rippling under its golden fur, which glinted dimly in the faint light that filtered into the cave. Its eyes burned with a savage intelligence, its jaws wide and fearsome. Heracles, undaunted, stood his ground, clutching his club tightly. As the lion pounced, Heracles swung his club with all his might, a blow that would have felled any ordinary beast. But the lion was no ordinary beast. The club struck its side, only to bounce off as if it had hit solid rock. Realizing that his weapons were of no use, Heracles resorted to his God-given strength. He dodged another swipe of the lion's deadly claws, then in a move of desperate courage, lunged forward. Grabbing the lion by its mane, Heracles wrestled the beast to the ground, struggling to maintain his grip on the thrashing creature. The battle within the dark confines of the cave was brutal and exhausting, a test of endurance and will, as each combatant fought for supremacy. The battle. In the Stygian gloom of the cave, Heracles and the Nemean Lion fought with a ferocity that echoed the chaotic battles of the gods themselves. Heracles, realizing the futility of conventional weapons, relied solely on his Herculean strength. He grappled with the beast, his arms locking around its powerful neck, his entire being focused on subduing the creature that seemed an embodiment of nature's untamed might. The struggle was epic, a physical and metaphorical battle between man and myth. Heracles' muscles strained under the effort, his skin marked by scratches and the dust of the cave floor. As the fight continued, a strategy emerged in Heracles' mind through the haze of exertion and adrenaline. He remembered the tales of the lion's invulnerability. No external force could harm it. But perhaps it could be subdued from within. With a surge of strength fueled by his desperate need for redemption, Heracles tightened his grip, his arms constricting around the lion's neck in a chokehold designed not to kill but to incapacitate. The lion fought back with wild desperation, its claws flailing, but slowly its movements grew weaker, its breaths more labored. Heracles, summoning every ounce of his divine strength, held on, his resolve unyielding as stone. Finally, as the first light of dawn began to seep into the cave, casting long shadows and illuminating the struggle, the lion's struggles ceased. Heracles stood, breath heavy, over the subdued beast, a mix of respect and sorrow in his eyes. He had conquered the unconquerable, not through the might of weapons, but through the sheer force of will and physical strength. Triumph and aftermath. As the new day dawned, casting golden light over the land of Nemea, Heracles emerged from the cave, the lion's magnificent hide, his trophy and testament to his victory. This hide, once the beast's invincible armor, now served as Heracles' shield, a poignant reminder of his triumph and the complex nature of his quest for redemption. Heracles' victory over the Nemean Lion was more than a mere feat of strength. It was a profound act of liberation for the people of Nemea, from the shadow of terror, and for Heracles from the chains of his past. As he draped the lion's hide over his shoulders, feeling its weight, he was acutely aware of the dual nature of his journey. Each labor, while a step towards his redemption, was also a moment of profound introspection, a test of his moral and ethical boundaries. As news of his victory spread, Heracles was both celebrated and feared. The people of Nemea, relieved of their long-standing nightmare, hailed him as a savior, their expressions of gratitude a balm to his weary heart. Yet within these accolades lay the seeds of future challenges, as each labor increased not only his fame, but also the complexity of his relationship with the gods and those he encountered. Standing on the precipice of his next challenge, Heracles knew that the road ahead was fraught with dangers as formidable as the Nemean Lion. Yet he also knew that each step was necessary, each battle a piece of the puzzle that was his life's destiny. With the lion's hide as both armor and burden, he set his sights on the next labor, aware that the path to atonement was long, and the balance between human and hero was delicate and fraught with peril. Thus, our tale of the first labor concludes, but the saga of Heracles is far from over. Join us next time as we follow Heracles to the swamps of Lerna, where the multi-headed Hydra waits, its breath as deadly as its bite. How will our hero overcome a beast that grows two heads for each one severed? Stay tuned and explore with us the enduring myths of Heracles, a man caught between the world of the gods and the realm of mortals. If you found yourself enthralled by the tale of strength and strategy, stay with us. The saga of Heracles is filled with more than just battles. It's woven with the threads of destiny and the human spirit. What challenges await our hero next? Can he outwit a creature that defies the very laws of nature? Subscribe and hit the bell to ensure you don't miss out on our next episode. Like this video if you're enjoying the journey through ancient myths, and share it with fellow mythology enthusiasts. Your thoughts and discussions enrich our community, so leave a comment below on how you would tackle the mighty challenges of Heracles. Join us next time as we continue to explore the Herculean feats and delve deeper into the myths that have shaped the narratives of heroes through the ages. Until then, keep wondering, and as always, keep watching.